Good evening, everybody. It's Charlie here, and welcome back to another video on the Chatting Leeds YouTube channel. Just before we get into it, as always, please smash that like button on the stream. It really does help get the video out there. Please subscribe if you are brand new. We're on the road to 3,000 subscribers. If you could do me a solid and hit that subscribe button, that would be very much appreciated. Hit that notification bell, and of course, get all of your thoughts and opinions in the live chat, and I'll flash them up on screen if I can. Obviously, there is a membership feature on the channel as well, guys, which I do always forget to mention in my videos. But yeah, if you can afford to do so, of course, £1.99 a month, you can join as a member, and it really does help fund the channel. So yeah, it's time for your last say, guys. Obviously, on that 90 minutes of dribble that we had to watch yesterday, as Leeds United lost at St Andrews 1-0 to Birmingham City. A late penalty conceded by Dan James gives Birmingham all 3 points yesterday. But I'll be honest, guys, we're only going to talk about the game for a little bit. I feel like there's bigger fish to fry at Leeds United at the minute. With players refusing to leave, players leaving for stupid loan deals to other clubs. Just the general toxicity that seems to be going on at Leeds United at the minute. It is an absolute disgrace, in my opinion, but I'm sure that we'll get into it. As I say, keep getting your comments in. I'll just flash a few of them up on screen now. Evening, Jordan. How we doing? Evening, Michael. JC's in the building, as always. How we doing, my mate? Mr. Austin, thoughts on Harrison going to Villa on loan instead of Everton? Well, it's funny you should say that, Mr. Austin, because Fabrizio Romano has tweeted 11 minutes ago saying, told there's one more late twist in the incredible Jack Harrison saga. After medical at Everton, Emery's call and Aston Villa hijack with new medical booked. Villa have just been informed that Harrison is currently injured and he could be out for 5 to 6 weeks. The decision is up to Villa now. So he still could end up at Everton. So who knows? But we'll be coming on to that in a little bit in more detail. Don't you worry. Fergal saying yet another loss of revenue with the departure of Harrison on loan for feck's sake. Yep. And why didn't Luke Ayling have a relegation clause in his contract? Oh, God, yeah. I could say the same about a few of them, to be fair. Hi, Philip. How's it going? Evening, evening, Charlie. Evening, Julie. Oh, what a mess. Yep. And that's putting it nicely, isn't it, Julie? We'll be playing the under-18s soon. God, more like 15s. There'll be only ones left. It's really not looking good for us right now. No, I agree, Phil. Looks like Aston Villa have hijacked the Jack Harrison Everton loan deal with an actual bid to bring him to Villa with Archer as part of the deal, according to a Villa content creator. I mean, hopefully that's right, but obviously they have been informed now that he's injured, so that could change the decision. Surely they knew he were injured. I mean, he's not featured during pre-season. He's not featured at all this season. Surely they knew that, but, you know, you'd have thought that they'd have done their due diligence at their end, but obviously not. This is, we all knew Harrison and the rest are going. It's the fact that, yeah, exactly. And again, we'll be coming on to it. Don't you worry. There is a lot to get through on tonight's stream, guys. So make sure that you stay tuned for the entirety. It was good to see you on the View Jez channel. Yeah, it was really good discussion over there on Jez podcast. I will be revealing something at the end of the stream regarding something that I've got in the pipeline, hopefully coming soon. So that'll be good to let you know of at the end. The way the club used to be ran. That comment sums everything up, doesn't it? And again, I will probably go on a rant at some point. There may be a few expletives in this one, so apologies in advance. But I am a very worried and a very angry boy at the minute, as you can imagine. Let's just, what did Jay say there? Sorry, overall, I don't think we played. Yeah, I mean, I can understand that, Jay. I have a slightly different opinion though, mate, which is fine. But we'll we'll come on to it shortly. Just want to get the want away players out of the club ASAP. So, yeah, exactly. Kevin's in the building as always. Evening, Kev. I know there's loads of news at the minute. It's hard to keep it's hard to keep track of everything in it. It's crazy at the minute. I was going to the club shop this to get the new shirt. I'm not going now. I am not helping to pay their wages. God, yeah. I think I'm going to buy the new away shirt when I get paid this Friday. So overall, I don't think we played badly. One or two players weren't great, but they never are. We were toothless in the final third. We need some new players, which we all knew anyway. Yeah, of course. Oh, it should have been such years ago. Yeah, exactly. Don't apologise for swearing. No, because I don't like swearing on the channel. But I've seen a few content creators recently that don't usually start swearing. Because it's becoming a real chore supporting this football club at the minute. And I think yesterday's performance just summed it all up. You know, I feel for the fans that travelled down to St Andrews yesterday. That game was 90 minutes of absolute dross. The lineup in itself was an absolute joke. The subs bench having to name 2 goalkeepers on it, and there was 8 subs in total. The rest were just kids, plus Jorginho Ruta, who, let's be honest, is pretty much a kid himself. You know, you've got Jamie Shackleton playing on the right at one point, then floating into the middle. Poveda was not great. Luke Ayling, I mean, the least said about him, the better. I mean, why is he still at the club? I do not know. Like someone said earlier, why couldn't he have a loan clause in his contract? Why can't a Saudi or a Qatar club come in for Luke Ayling? You know, I would happily let him go for free. I genuinely. But like Jay said, I understand what he's saying. It wasn't, given the team we had out, it could have been a lot worse. You can tell the style of play that Daniel Farker is wanting to implement. But at the same time, how is he meant to get the best out of this team when the 49ers are clearly not backing him? Now, I get FFP or profit and sustainability rules are probably preventing a lot of signings coming in. So why don't we expose the loan market? Teams are using us for the loan market. So why can't we exploit other teams in this loan market? Do you know what I mean? We've brought in Joe Rodon on a season-long loan. No option to buy, which I think's smart, because if it doesn't quite work out, then we can send him back. I think he'll be a good signing once he's properly integrated within the team. But even him, the fact we had to bring him on in the dying stretches of the game yesterday and we put him up front. The guy's a centre-back. Just brought him in from Tottenham Hotspur. And we bring him on in his first game. And where do we play him? Up front. It's just an absolute shit show at the minute. It really, really is. And I'm so fucking pissed off at how this football club's being run at the minute. We are a League 2 operation behind the scenes. And like I say, watching that game yesterday it was actually hard to watch. It was that boring from both teams. Neither team, I just want to reiterate this because it's going to come across like I'm just slagging Leeds off. Birmingham were absolutely garbage as well. But that doesn't matter. It was a boring game by 2 bad teams. We were just slightly worse in the fact that poor decision making from Dan James, error of judgment, brings the player down just inside the box. Yes, the Birmingham player looks for it a little bit, plays for it a bit, but there's contact there, so it's a penalty. Did I think Meslier would save that penalty? No, not for a minute. You know, I ain't blaming Meslier or anything, but it's just Positives from yesterday. I thought the defense as a whole was actually quite solid. I thought we coped with them quite well. We didn't really let them in behind, conceded very few chances. Like I say, the goal's a penalty, so it isn't like they've exploited us in any way, or they've got in behind, or they've pressured us into that goal. It was a penalty. I thought Ampadu and Archie Gray have got they've continued to have that really good partnership. Archie Gray is 17 years old and is arguably the best player in the team. That is the issue. And it's hindering his development that he's having to play so many minutes at the minute. Archie Gray this season should be having a season where he starts the odd game, but comes on in games for like 20, 30 minutes and just eases himself into the team, given his age and his inexperience. But given how thin the squad is at the minute, he has to play because his performances are warranting it, of course. But in terms of numbers, even if he was playing bad, he would have to play. And that is the issue. Cody Drama is on the bench yesterday as an unused sub when he's by far the better right back over Luke Ayling. In terms of right backs that we've got at the club, we've got two at the minute, Drama and Ayling. Who are you starting, Ayling or Drama? Because I know I'm picking all day long. The amount of times I heard the commentator yesterday say, and he gets past Ayling, and he gets past Ayling. Oh, and Ayling just misses out on that tackle. Oh, a poor pass from Ayling. He defends square. He's slow. His decision making's poor. His positioning's poor. Why is he still at the club? Why is he still playing? Luke Ayling for me should be a squad option at the very least. He should know, even in the Championship, he should not be starting games for Leeds United now. It just shouldn't. And if that upsets any happy clappers, if that upsets any, hardcore fans, then I apologise. But I'm just spitting facts at the minute. Luke Ayling is not a good footballer anymore. He's done amazing things at Leeds, and I've loved having Luke Ayling at this club. But his time's up now. Same as Liam Cooper. His time is up now as well. We need to stop being Sentiment FC and get rid of the deadwood, get rid of the players that are clearly not going to go anywhere at Leeds now, i.e. Jamie Shackleton. Jamie Shackleton got man of the match against Shrewsbury Town in the Cup. That tells you something. League One is his level at the very best. I think he'd struggle to get into most League One teams, actually. So Shackleton, Ayling, Cooper. Dallas may not be the same player when he comes back, so I'll hold judgment off on that until he comes back. You've got Firpo, who's still on the books and injured. Is he going to come back? Surely not. Don't want him at left back. I want a proper left back who can actually play football. And the person I feel most sorry for in this is Daniel Farker. Because I'm sure he's been promised the world, but he's not getting it at the minute. He's not getting backed. We've signed 4 players and we've let 10 go. Sorry, 4 players in, 10 gone. And we've recouped about 5 million in total for those players because they've all gone on these shitty loan deals. Like Joseph said, total shit show. And I completely agree with you, pal. Completely agree. Borough fans did warn us about Arter. He fucked them up as well. Yeah, I can believe it. From what I've seen lately, Luke had the most hunger. He's not playing like it, pal. Complete shit show, yep, I agree. Well, so far under the new owners, the 49ers hasn't done so good. No, they haven't, but again, there's still just under 3 weeks left of this window now. So you've just got to hope and pray now. Nick Hammond and Greta Steinson have got a massive job on their hands now. Massive job. Elan has never saved a penalty for Leeds before, despite the countless penalties Leeds have had against him. Yeah, that's true. Good work, Charlie, for coming on and talking about this shit show. Leeds fans are a family and need to be united on this. These YouTube channels are therapy for us. Appreciate that, Nick. And I hope I don't offend anybody's opinions on this. I like doing these streams because I see a lot of opinions. I'm just saying what I think, but I think 95% of Leeds fans are all in agreement about this utter carnage that's going on at the minute. We're in the top 20 biggest clubs in the country and we have an ownership of some. Yep, there you go. League 2 operation in the background, mate. League 2 operation, let me tell you. Just before I go any further, guys, there's 72 of you in the building. That's really, really good to see. Really appreciate all of the support. If you wouldn't mind smashing a like on the video, it gets the video out to more people and opens more eyes up to the channel. Please subscribe if you are brand new as well. I really want to hit 3K as soon as possible. Hit the notification bell and obviously continue to get your thoughts and opinions in the live chat. Do you think Ray and Ampadu will play 40 plus games each this season? Looks like they're going to have to. Yeah, they probably will have to, Jordan, but what happens if one of them get injured? That's the question. What happens if one of them do get injured? There's Glenn Kamara being linked at Rangers, but that seems to have gone quiet a little bit. Load up with quality loans from the Prem. Yep, again, Ernie Paul, I don't understand why we've not exploited the loan market. Like I said earlier, teams are using us. Teams are using us in this loan market. They're getting out all our players on loans, aren't they? I know they've all got clauses, but why can't we go and get some? Do you think Farker would have taken this job if we were run like League 2 operation? Do you think he would have taken the job if he wasn't given? No, Jay, I don't. But what I mean by the League 2 operation is that it's the previous regime, basically, which obviously Farker's not come into, which is ultimately the reason why he's taken the job, because he would never have come to Leeds if it was still Rad's order, at this club. There's absolutely no chance. But what I mean is, the previous regime were a League 2 operation. Now, I'm reserving judgment on the 49ers until the end of this transfer window. I watched a little bit of the Parag Marate interview earlier, where he's giving it big licks, saying that it's going to be an aggressive window and we're going to give Farker the tools and we're going to get a strong squad together. None of that's happened yet. And they've been at the helm now for a number of weeks, maybe just over a month or two, maybe. And we've seen 4 signings come in. Ampadu, Darlow, Byram, and Joe Rodon. Joe Rodon's a loan. Sam Byram was for free. Darlow was 400 grand. And Ampadu is 10 million. So in essence, we've spent 10.5 million. Where's the parachute payments? Sure. For me now, I know there's FFP rules, but I'd just risk it now. Genuinely, I would risk it. I would risk it for a biscuit. Why not? Just go for it. Get some players in and sort this club out. Because otherwise, the investment that they've made is all going to be for nothing. It's all going to be for nothing. And it is. That's just facts. That's just facts. Ampadu can't have a break either, Charlie. He played in the cup. Yeah, exactly. We had to play. And Farker even said he didn't want to play Ampadu against Shrewsbury, but he had to because of the limited options. This is the fucking problem. Honestly. Why can't we just be ran like a normal club? I don't understand. I do not understand. Cagey gave an honest assessment of the club, but a lot of fans have respect for Ailing because he was part of our promotion party. But Kevin, this is the issue. This is the issue. We need to stop being Sentiment FC. We really need to stop being Sentiment FC. Luke Ayling is not a good footballer. He could go and score against West Brom on Friday, and I'd be buzzing for him, but it still doesn't change that fact. Jamie Shackleton could go and get a hat trick. Still doesn't change the fact that he's a League One footballer at best. We need to stop being sentimental towards these players. There's people who are saying that they'd want Click back and everything. And look, I get it, given the situation, and even I fought it for a brief period yesterday. But players like that, it were right for them to move on. They've done amazing things at the club. Hernandez, Berardi, Alioski, Click. They've all moved on at the right time. They have. They've all moved on at the right time. Luke needs to go. Yeah, he does, Alex. Really, really does. 4 players we have are in our good players. I have faith that we'll... Yeah, and do I think we'll sign some players over the next few weeks? Yes, I do. But do I think we'll sign enough players? No, I don't. I think over the next 3 weeks we see another 2 signings, max. When ideally we need about 5, in my opinion. Unless they're really, really, really busy behind those doors at Ellen Road. I just can't. I can't see it being enough. I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong. Bear with me, Charlie. No worries, Kev. Don't you worry. No worries. 0 Fox Division 1, here we come. I'm not saying it's that bad. I don't think we're going to be getting relegated again. But what I will say is that if we don't sort this squad out, we'll be a mid-table championship team again. It'll be throwing it back to 2013 for me. I think this is more just going to be a forum now, guys, the amount of comments that are coming in. With the players we've left on loan, once their loan deals have ended, they will be eventually sold to the club. Yeah, but that's going to be next summer. That doesn't help us now, does it? I get your point. I really do get your point. But that doesn't help us now, does it? It just doesn't. It really, really doesn't. But I'm just literally, sorry, I am just checking Twitter just to see if because there's that many updates at the minute. Aston Villa, not intention to proceed on Jack Harrison deal as they believe he's injured for some weeks and can't replace Buendia. Everton are now prepared to close the deal after having player at the club earlier today for medical test. And then David Ornstein has also tweeted saying that Everton have reached an agreement with Jack Harrison to sign the 26-year-old on loan with desire to make permanent at the end. Medical completed, now moving on to signing contracts. Villa considered midfielder, but Everton close to completing the deal. So what a day Jack Harrison's had a medical at Everton, then spoke to Unai Emery and chose to go to Villa, and now he's going to Everton. So fair play to him. Jack Harrison is a player that I expected to leave anyway, but I was hoping to get a fee. We nearly sold him to Leicester for 20 million quid in January. And now he's leaving on loan. Hopefully Everton make that deal permanent, but he's going to be in another relegation battle for the 3rd year in a row. So yeah, we're 2 games into the season. We've conceded goals due to silly mistakes, erase them, and we win and draw. Yeah, but the defence that we've got at the minute, it's hard to say that we're just going to erase them issues. And like Alex is saying here, Jay, Birmingham finished 17th in the Championship last season, and Cardiff got beat yesterday at home by QPR, who most teams are tipping to be bottom of the league. Let that sink in. And we were 2-0 down to them at Ellen Road. Joke. Absolute joke. No chance of 75 goals Farker has predicted we need. No, absolutely not. Everton break FFP every year. They are still allowed in the Prem. Yeah. Hi, Charlie. 49ers have 20 days to bring in at least 8. Yeah. And I agree. I think we need a whole new 11 as well. 100%. Sentiment FC has killed this club. Too many fans haven't got a clue supporting these clowns. Yeah, exactly. And there's a lot of happy clappers. There's a lot of deluded fans out there who think that Leeds United is still going to get promoted. I'm sorry, but if you watch that game yesterday and if you see how thin the squad is, if we do not bring any more players in, or if we don't bring enough players in over the next 3 weeks, forget going up, we won't even get playoffs. It's as simple as that. Now, before we get into some more comments, guys, there is just a topic that I wanted to bring up, which I'm sure will open up a lot of different opinions. Let's just speak about these rats at the club at the minute, these prima donnas, these arseholes, everything, all of the above. Willie Nonto and Luis Sinistera. Nonto, first of all, because he was the first one, that it kind of came out. Obviously, he made himself unavailable for the Shrewsbury game in the Cup. But there was no actual concrete news coming out that he had actually refused to play. He was just unavailable. Then obviously Phil Hay broke the news on Friday night, the night before the game against Birmingham, saying that he had basically said that he was refusing to travel with the squad to Birmingham because he wants to leave, and he's refusing to play for the football club. In what has been the absolute maddest week and the shittest week as a Leeds United fan for quite some time, to then hear that players are not wanting to play for the club, something that everyone in the chat, all Leeds fans around the world, would absolutely dream to play for Leeds United, to wear that white shirt out on that pitch, and you're refusing to do it. You've signed a 4-year contract, which you're only a year into. You've got 3 years left. No relegation release clause. No loan clause. So unless a team pays what we want, you're sticking with us, pal. And that is it. That is it. You've signed a contract. Like a lot of people have said, and it's right. If I phoned my manager tomorrow and said, you know what, mate, don't fancy this, not coming in, I'd lose my job. Or I'd be getting severely punished. So why, when footballers want to move, how are they allowed to just refuse to play? And obviously for me now, there is no going back for Willie Nonto now. Even if no team comes in for him and he remains at the club, send him to the under-16s for all I care and let him rot there. No apology, no grovelling, no nothing is going to get away from this. He's an absolute scumbag and a rat and a little snake. And I hope I'm 50. Part of me obviously hopes that he does get a move, because I don't want him at the club now. Never want to see him wear that shirt again. That shirt that he's refused to wear. And I want a good fee for him, so that we can just send him on his way. I'll drive him to the airport or drive him to Everton myself if he wants. But obviously Harrison's going there now, so that could affect the deal, which I kind of find funny. But then it would also give me happiness knowing that he's still at the club, not playing with the first team, not training with the first team, and just rotting with the under-18s or under-16s. But in a way, why would you want him around them? Because it sets a bad example to those young kids, doesn't it? Who are trying to come through, who are all dying to wear that Leeds United shirt in the first team that he's refusing to do. So yeah. And it's a shame, because I liked him as a player. I thought he had good potential, but he never did anything that warrants this behaviour. No one could ever do anything that would warrant this behaviour. Side before self every time, as Billy Bremner once said, and it's 100% correct. And then you've got Cine, who obviously refused to play yesterday as well, given that he's got a niggling injury. And obviously he's got a loan clause in his contract as well. and he doesn't want to aggravate an injury in the hope that he gets a move. So he refused to play as well. So everything that I've just said there about Nonto goes for Sinisterra as well. What a player on his day. On his day is arguably our best player when fit. But I would rather have a team full of Michael Browns again, who actually want to play at Leeds, than have a team full of Sinisterras and Nontos. Just absolute scum of the earth. And I hope that Daniel Farke heavily punishes them. He's obviously said in his post-match that, the players that don't want to be here will not be involved within the first team, and I hope he's right. But we just need to get rid of all these rats that don't want to be here now, in my opinion. Guys, there's 159 of you in the building. That's absolutely amazing for a Sunday evening. I really appreciate you all giving up your Sunday night to come watch me rant and lose my head about Leeds United. If you could smash a like on the video, that would be absolutely amazing. Please subscribe to the channel as well. Hit the notification bell and continue to get your comments in. I do apologise if I don't read out every comment, but there's a lot of comments flying in at the moment, so bear with me. Darryl saying we don't think we'll sign anyone else. Yeah, I could get on that bandwagon. I'm just hoping that we do. I'm just checking Twitter again, but yeah, no updates. Obviously, Harrison's going to Everton now. I get the impression the 49ers are writing the season off. Maybe the FFP allows us to spend next year. The problem is we don't know. Exactly. Even if we just had a bit of clarity on the situation, Sam, even if we just had a bit of clarity, I'd still be annoyed at that, though, because this season shouldn't be a write-off. This is the best time to go straight back up. It's like Leicester have got 5 points on us now. Southampton have got 3. We're already behind now, so yeah. Just spend, others do and don't give a shit and seems to get away with it. Yeah, exactly. That's why I said earlier. Just don't care about it. Just go for it now. You might as well. You might as well just go for it. We need to now. If they don't think we need to sign players, then they want their heads screwing on. Believe me. With Harrison going to Everton, does that end their interest in Nonto? Yeah, potentially, which again, that will be hilarious if Nonto has to stay at the club. Train with the 18s, 16s, even 14s. Why not? Just sticking with kids. Mid-table at best, yeah. Shit week, yeah. Obviously, it all started when we were buzzing that we were about to sign Max Aarons, or Aarons, however you say it, from Norwich City. The deal was agreed. He was travelling up to Leeds for a medical. There's some reports saying that he actually had the medical and walked out halfway through. How true that is, I don't know, but he was at least on his way up for a medical. And then Bournemouth swoop in. Premier League football at the end of the day, so you can't argue with it, but that's when the dominoes started to fall, didn't it? And then we had the very mediocre performance against Shrewsbury, only just got through them. And then we obviously had yesterday's shit show as well. And then all the Nonto stuff, the Cine stuff, and it's just, yeah. Nonto's still a kid, not a man of the wrong. Yeah. And obviously there's a lot of people saying that, it's his agent, which I get that. Agents, player agent power at the minute is quite high, isn't it? It's quite on the horizon, but Nonto is still his own person. He can make his own decisions. If his agent was pushing him to do something that he didn't want to do, he would say, well, I'd like to think you'd say something, But like Fabrizio Romano shared on his tweet about Nonto, the relationship now between him and the club is completely broken. No going back with the fans, no going back with the club. For me, the best outcome now would be that someone just pays a decent fee and we just get him gone. Leeds apparently said that they'd accept 30 million. I don't see a team paying 30 million for Nonto. In all honesty, I don't think he's worth 30 million. I think 20 to 25 million is probably the best outcome for all parties. But again, who's going to pay it? Everton are skint, which is why they're getting Jack Harrison on loan initially. So He messing about with the wrong owner. Parag will tie him in knots. Yeah. Refuse to play, refuse to pay. Yeah. And yeah, exactly. We gave Nonto a chance when no one else did. No one else gave Nonto a try, did they? We made him who he is today. We gave him the platform in the Premier League to showcase his ability, which has ultimately led to teams being interested. That's fair enough. But don't act like this. Just keep playing for the club until you get a move. If that's what you want, fine. But you're contracted to play for the club until a bid is accepted. Simple. Simple. Pint-sized diva. Yeah, 100%, Kev. 100%. And they're saying, exactly, Charlie. Can you imagine walking into any other job? And exactly. If I phoned my boss in the morning and said, you know what, mate, I just don't fancy it. I'm just going to sack it off. What would the reaction be? Nonto, no play, no pay. Can you see Bremner's team acting like this? No way. No, they wouldn't be acting like that, would they? Slap a transfer fee of 30 million on Nonto and tell him get someone to match that, and you can fuck off. If no one does, they can polish up their FIFA and COD skills at home for the next 4 years. Yeah. But the main thing at this club is that it is being run like a League Two club. We are an absolute disgrace of a football club at the minute with how we're being run. Victor Orta and Andrea Radrizzani must hang their heads in shame at what they have done to this football club. And there's people saying the 49ers won't have known and all this rubbish. They maybe won't have known how bad it was, but they'll have known. They've been minority shareholders since 2017. They'll have had an idea of what the contracts were and everything. What is all this loan clause like? I get players having relegation release clauses in terms of a fee, but I've never heard of this loan clause before in my life. Like, only Leeds United could do this. Like I said earlier, 10 players, including Harrison, soon, leaving the club, and we've got about 5 million from Rodrigo going and Tyler Roberts going. I mean, come on. Come on. What's going on? Joe mentioned on his podcast, Nonto agent told another player who he manages to do the same thing in order to get away from Roma. Roma throws the player out and the player got a move to Galatasaray. So maybe that's what will happen to Nonto. I think Joe did say that the other night. Yeah, he did. I think that was that Zaniolo, wasn't it, from Roma? Yeah, but maybe they'll freeze him out and he will get a move away. And you know what? I hope he does. I don't want him. I don't want Cine at the club anymore. It's just not right. There's no going back for him now either. Even if they were to come back into the first team, can you imagine the atmosphere they'd get at Ellen Road? It wouldn't be pretty. Look, I know a lot of people who sit around me in the South Stand who have some very choice words on a weekly basis, so I know what they would be saying. But yeah, I'm just looking through the comments. Charlie, no, I'm not the only Leeds content creator who's having a rant. I've watched Connor, Joe, KJ, Kate, amongst others, getting it off their chest. Yeah, look, obviously, I've also been, keeping my eye on other content creators. I think Leeds YouTubers are the best ones. I'm biased, but I think every content creator within the Leeds United sphere is doing a great job at the minute. And everyone is frustrated. It's not just us creators; it's all you guys as well. We're all pissed off, aren't we, at how this football club's being run at the minute? And I'm genuinely worried for Leeds United right now. I really am. I wasn't even this worried about getting relegated because I'd already resigned myself to that last season. But this is an absolute disgrace. We're in the Championship now. We're probably the biggest club in the Championship. Maybe us and Leicester are probably the biggest clubs in there. And it's being ran like this. It's an absolute joke, man. These players refusing to play. Just silly from them, as all they needed to do is buckle down, show how good they are in the division. If they exactly, Enzio. Why couldn't they have just got their head down, played well in the championship, scored goals, assists, everything? Then in January you could have got your move, and it'd have been a fee. Do you know what I mean? It's a joke, man. Desperately need for a right back. Does Drame fit the bill, Charlie, or a new face? For me, Drame does fit the bill. I think we need a left back rather than a right back. I think we can cope with Drame and Ayling. Just start Drame and not Luke Ayling, please, because the guy cannot defend at all. But yeah, I do think Drame is decent. I do. I disagree with this. I think Farkas signed a 4-year contract. He'll have had an idea of the situation during the interview process. Maybe he didn't think it would be this bad, but this season now is probably just going to be a transitional season. As long as we can finish as high up the table as possible. If we don't go up, hopefully we get fees in for these players that are out on loan next season, and we can maybe use the fees plus the little bit of the parachute payments that comes down as well. So yeah, but honestly, I'm just so drained with it all at the minute. It's really, really starting to piss me off how this football club is at the minute. Why would any club want to sign a traitor? Nonto has marked his card exactly. Apparently, Everton fans have even been saying, why would we want this guy when he's acting like this? They've just had Anthony Gordon last season act like that over a move up to Newcastle. They don't want another player that as soon as he starts playing good and teams are interested in him, he just kicks up a fuzz, throws his toys out of the pram. Just an absolute joke. And the main thing that's annoying me at the minute is these loan clauses. What is going on with that? In what mind did Rads and Orta think that was a good idea? Do you know why they've added that in? Do you know why they've added those clauses in? Because they were naive and they thought that this squad under Jesse Marsh at the start of last season was going to be fine in the Premier League. They couldn't have been more wrong. Jesse Marsh is an embarrassment as a football coach. Radrizzani had so many good years at Leeds as being the owner, up until maybe the last 2 or 3. But he ended as an embarrassment. Victor Orta shouldn't even be employed as a sporting director. He should be working at Tesco's because that's all he's good for. He's a disgrace. He's a rat. And he's a fucking clown. And I hate the man. Hate the man for what he's done to our football club. This is all on him. All on him. It isn't the players' faults. They've looked at that clause and they thought, right, I want a way out. I still think it's a bit weird how all these players that have gone out on loan are the reason we're in the Championship, but yet still thought that they were better than it. Weird. And that's a very interesting point as well. Mancini's resigned as the Italian coach. And it was Mancini that said he wanted Nonto to play at a higher level to get into the squad for the Euros next year. We'll see how that pans out. But that's a totally different story, isn't it? But honestly, it's just a joke, man. Absolute joke. Within the space of a year, we've gone from hammering Chelsea at Ellen Road to playing a front four of... Exactly. Someone was on about that at work with me yesterday morning. As I did work yesterday morning. Saying like, were you at the game last season, when we beat Chelsea? And I was like, yeah, it was unreal. It was August, it was sunny, really nice weather, battered Chelsea. Wasn't just like we scored 3 lucky goals, we battered them. And then that was our last win until November. So, like you say, we've gone from that to playing with James, Shackleton, Paveda and Joe Gellart as the front four. And I think as Leeds fans, we're just resigned to it now, all this chaos, aren't we? It's just like, oh, it isn't even surprising anymore. I feel like we've rewinded, we've gone back in time to 2013, 2014 when we were under Cellino, when we were crap. When we had, Caleb Eckiban, when we had Matthew Pennington, Rudolph Austin, Ross McCormack, those days. Because that's what it feels like. That's how bad we are at the minute in terms of on the pitch and off the pitch at the minute. And I get it. We've got players injured who can come back and have an impact on this team. We do. But is Somerville going to be looking at Nanto and Cine now and thinking, hey, I could get a move here. If I just refuse to play, I'll easily get a move. It could just be a domino effect now. Other players could start doing it. It's just disgraceful. The club is so toxic at the minute. It is absolutely a joke. And, there's next 2 games. West Brom on Friday night at home. I will be there. I will be going. I am absolutely shitting myself to go down to that game. Yeah, they got beat on the opening day, but they beat Swansea yesterday 3-2. So they'll be in good spirits. They'll be confident, and they'll know the situation at Leeds is bad behind the scenes on the pitch. They'll know that they can come and take advantage of that, and they probably will. They probably will beat us in that one if the squad is as it is now. I fully believe that. Then you've got Ipswich the week after, away. Ipswich, who have just been promoted and they've won their opening 2 games, by the way. Top of the league at the minute, I think, Ipswich. Playing really, really good football. Beating Sunderland, and who did they beat yesterday? That'll annoy me if I don't check. Who did they beat yesterday? Who did Ipswich beat? Stoke. Beat Stoke yesterday. So, again, if the squad's not improved drastically by that point, I don't expect us to get anything there. Then we've got Chef Wednesday on the 2nd of September, which unfortunately I'll be on holiday for, so I won't be there. But, I mean, we should beat Chef Wednesday, to be fair. But the point I'm getting at, guys, is that a lot of us have, including me, really, I think, during summer, massively underestimated the Championship, I think. Massively underestimated it, and the quality and the strength in depth that some teams have in this league. And like I say, if we don't improve it over the next 3 weeks, we'll do well to get mid-table. I don't think we'll go down or anything like that. I won't overreact that much, but I can't see us having a good season. I think it's going to be a very tough season if we don't. And I feel sorry. I feel sorry for Daniel Farker that he's inherited this situation. As Fergal's saying, smash the like on the stream, guys, if you don't mind. I just saw a comment there that I thought was interesting. Where is it? I can't remember. Did I want Bielsa sacked? It's a random question, but at the time, yes. But looking back on it, no. I would have much rather have gone down that season with Bielsa and rebuilt with him than what's unfolded since he left. But yeah, Harrison to Everton, now on Sky Sports, breaking news. Oh, is it? Let's have a look. Is it official then? Have they announced it? Oh no, it's not. They've not officially announced it yet, but yeah. I don't know. I'm just done with it all now. I'm just done with it. How did so many Leeds fans underestimate the Championship? We spent 16 years and it was never going to be that simple. No, but I think the situation was very different 16 years ago, or however many years ago it was now. It was about, 19, 20 years ago now. the situation was different then. We've got parachute payments. We've just been taken over by new owners. If all these stupid loan clauses weren't in these players' contracts, we would be in a very good position right now, I think. And I do believe that. But again, the situation that Rads and Orta have left us in ultimately is why we're in this position. So, yeah. Why did all the YouTubers want Bielsa sacked? I think at the time it was just because the results weren't good, and I think we didn't want to get relegated, and I felt he would have taken us down. But then in retrospect, when you look at it, if we'd have gone down with him, I'd much rather prefer that than have got Jesse Marsh and everything that happened after that. But obviously, this stream isn't about Bielsa, mate. In with all due respect, it isn't about Bielsa. It's about the situation now. We need to stop living in the past. We are 16th at best, mate. Oh God, don't say that. I don't think we'll finish that low, but 5. Yeah, I think a minimum 5, Jordan. Minimum 5. A minimum of 5. Yeah, 100%. Badly need them though. What's Enzio talking about there? Just opening a few key signings will change everything. Yeah, and by all means, right? By all means, if we make some signings over the next few weeks and we start to pick up results and we start to get better, no one will be more happier about that than me. This isn't me wanting to come on here and be negative. This isn't me coming on here enjoying this and thriving in it, thinking, you know what, I'll get a lot of clicks and views for these rants. I want to come on here and I want to be buzzing about Leeds United. I want to come on here and say that we've won us opening 2 games. Farke's playing good football. We've made a few good signings. We're in talks to bring others in. Things are looking good, and all thumbs up and smiling. But it's not that. I can't come on here and be fake. I can't come on here and tell you that everything is going to be all right, because it isn't all right at the minute. It's not all right. And like I say, let's just see how the next few weeks go. It's not looking good for me at the minute. I think we'll sign 2 players max over the next few weeks, when ideally we need a minimum of 5. But unless things start to change behind the scenes and on the pitch, we're just going to be an average championship team for a few years, in my opinion. Oh, Clive, what are you talking about, mate? I think a lot of YouTubers and podcasters love being negative. What? What are you talking about, mate? So are you telling me, Clive? Are you telling me that you're happy with this situation at the minute? You think Leeds United are doing good? You think how the club's being run is fine? Leeds are going to get promoted. First time of asking, no problem. Don't need to sign any players. Everything's fine. Do you think that? Because if you do, you want your head testing. And I'm sorry, but I have to be honest here. I have to be honest. Joe defends all his mates who wanted him sacked. It's the Leeds way. What are you on about, pal? What are you on about? Yeah, Clive clearly does like to swag off YouTubers. I'm sorry, Clive. If you don't like what I'm saying, you can happily switch off this video. It's absolutely fine. I can't be bothered with people who are being delusional at the minute. You need to look at it for what it is. We are in shit. We are in shit creek without a paddle at the minute. We are in a very bad situation at this moment in time. Can it be sorted? Yes, it can. Do I think it can be sorted? Hopefully. Do I want it sorting? Of course. I am not coming on here. I am not coming on here saying, sorry, I'm not coming on here wanting to be negative. I'm coming on here wanting to be buzzing about my football club. But the fact is, I can't be at the minute. None of us can. Until we see improvements on the pitch and behind the scenes and signings coming in, what is there to be happy about at the minute? And, you know, I am sorry that I have to come here and act like this. I don't want to be like this. No way do I want to be like this. But I have to come on here and give my honest thoughts and opinions. And the majority of you in the chat are on the same page. So, yeah, look, it's I'm not talking about being positive, I'm talking about offering solutions. Well, what solutions have you got then, pal? Please tell me, because I'm running out of solutions at the minute. But the best signing that we have made this summer is Daniel Farker, and our stripper's absolutely spot on. The one good thing we got is Farker. He's speaking really well. He seems to be handling the situation as best that he can. And boy, do I hope we back him over the next 3 weeks. Boy, do I hope that we back him, because he really, really needs it. Really, really, really needs it. So then, guys, we're going to leave it there. We've been going nearly an hour. I expected it to be quite a long discussion tonight. There's been highs of 195 people in the chat this evening. That is the highest I've ever had on a live stream. Big up to every single one of you that has joined in the live chat and helped with this therapy session and helped me get a lot of these things off my chest. Yeah, you've all been amazing. I really do appreciate all of the support and appreciate you taking time out of your Sunday night to come and watch me waffle on for the last hour. But yeah, as I say, really appreciate all the love and support, guys. Just before I finish, obviously, please smash that like button if you haven't already on the way out. It really does help get the video out there to more people. Please subscribe if you are brand new to the channel as well. I really want to hit 3,000 subscribers as soon as possible. It's my next target. I really want to hit it as soon as possible. If you could do me a favor, share the channel with your friends, your family, your neighbors, whoever. Hit the notification bell so that you know when I'm uploading and going live. And of course, get your comments in if you're watching after the stream has ended. I'm going to sign off there, guys. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and hopefully we see some good news this week. See you in a bit. Cheers.